This is your host, Riley Mulvihill, and you're watching HTV. Welcome back to HTV, where we'll be going over the events of February. Now, February has always been my favorite month of the year, being that we get so many days off for holidays and snow days. Speaking of the two, it looks as if the groundhog was right in predicting 6 more weeks of winter. But maybe you don't know why we judge our seasons by a groundhog and a shadow. So, we're going to teach you.
Each year, on February 2nd, we ride around to see if a little groundhog will see its shadow. But do you really know why? Well, here's a brief history of Groundhog's Day. It all started back in Europe in the 18th century, where they used to have hedgehogs to predict the coming spring. But when they came to America, there were no hedgehogs in sight, so they used groundhogs instead. Fast forward to 2014, and we use this day as an excuse to watch a bunch of old men in top hats talk to a cute groundhog. First, they pull the groundhog, named Puxatawny Phil, out of its cage and show it around like a trophy. Then, they set it on a stump and converse for a little while about its shadow, or lack thereof. Finally, Phil chooses a scroll, deciding if it'll be 6 more weeks of winter or an early spring. This year, Phil predicted 6 more cold weeks. Luckily, he's only right 38% of the time.
But the month of February isn't only about groundhogs and cupids, it's also celebrating Black History Month, which we've comprised a little memorial to some famous African Americans throughout history.
The purpose of our organization of Afro-American Unity, which has the same aim and objective to fight whoever gets in our way and bring about the freedom of these people by any means necessary.
I have a dream. This nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
I have cherished the idea of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony. It is an ideal for which I am prepared to die.
You and I, as citizens, have the power to set this country's course. You and I, as citizens, have the obligation to shape the debates of our time, not only with the votes we cast, but with the voices we lift in defense of our most ancient values and enduring ideals.
In the short time of history that America has been around, we have been graced by some truly amazing presidents. And I think it only proper that we give them a true homage in celebrating President's Day. Now, it's more than just getting a day off of school, it's... No, that's about it. We get a day off of school. Here at HTV, we put a lot of focus into sports, but we also appreciate the arts too. And that's why Hermiston High School recently held a contest that encouraged students to create their own artistic interpretation of the Hermiston Bulldog. Students could use any medium they chose, be it colored pencils, or charcoal, or acrylics, or even molding. And we have with us today one of the winners of the Bulldog contest, Luis Godoy. Luis, come on down! Thank you, sir, for taking the time.
Pleasure's all mine.
Mr. Godoy, could I take a look at your hands? The hands of an artist. So, Mr. Godoy, let's talk about your piece.
Well, it's black and white, it's charcoal, it's a bulldog.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you normally paint in color.
Yeah, it's my comfort zone.
So, what encouraged you to step out of your comfort zone?
The money.
Oh, good a reason as any, I suppose. Now, I'm looking at your piece, and it's pretty impressive. How long did it take you to make?
About a week, maybe more. You could say there was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went into it.
Side notes, folks. Blood, sweat, and tears make excellent watercolored paints. So, Mr. Godoy, what are you gonna do with the $50?
Well, I think I'm gonna go buy a Miley Cyrus ticket.
Did somebody say Miley Cyrus?
I came in like a wrecking ball. I never hit so hard.
I want to apologize to all of our viewers who saw that. I believe Mrs. Fry has an emergency eye wash station you can use. Side note, Mrs. Fry is a friend of the show. Speaking of friends of the show, Mr. Godoy, thank you for coming on.
It's been a pleasure.
Now, the next person on our show won second place in the art contest. His name is Riley Mulvihill. Riley, come on down. Thank you for coming in today. It's good to have you on the show.
Oh, oui, it's very good to be here in America. Thank you for having me.
Well, you took second place in the art competition here at Hermiston High School. How does that make you feel?
Well, we Frenchmen, we are used to not winning in things. You know, the World War I, the World War II, the Vietnam, pretty much anything. The French, we are used to this.
You have a very interesting accent.
Oh, did you not know? All artists are French.
So can you tell us a little bit about your artwork?
Oh, yes, you see. Well, I studied the painting when I was very small, about the size of a baguette, and I would paint with the painting on the paper.
Excuse me, did you say a baguette?
Oui. You know, the little roll of the bread that the little children eat in the France. Oui, the baguette.
So can you tell us a little bit about your artwork? The bulldog specifically, what does it mean to you?
Well, it means that there is a bulldog with some bookshelf and some desk, and it gave me money.
So what are you going to do with this money?
I will buy crêpes that, soup de jus, and croque-monsieur.
Do you like Ratatouille?
Oui, bonsoir. It is a very good Pixar movie about a little rat who becomes a chef.
Well, Riley, thank you for coming on the show. Do you have any last words?
Vive la France!
That was Riley Mulvihill, the winner second place of the Hermiston Art Contest, and we thank him for coming on the show. Well, that wraps up this episode. Join us next month when we cover all the events that transpire here at HHS. This has been Riley Mulvihill, your host, your colleague, and your friend, reminding you all to keep it classy, dogs.